Hey guys, welcome back for another video. I wanted to do a video this time on baby items. So having 7 kids, I have had experience a time or two with what things that I feel like work best with most of my kids, or what I have found to be a good investment for babies. So the very first thing that is at the absolute top of my list, and it's something that I did not have until I believe my 5th child. I don't even know when it came out, to be honest with you, but it is the Owlette Sock. I'm going to try and link everything. I can't take everything, like all this stuff, and put it in the video because some of it's too big, but I am going to mention everything and link it if I can find it. The Owlette Sock is a little wrap, if you haven't heard of this, that monitors your baby's heart rate and oxygen level. It measures their heart rate and their oxygen level, and you can hook it up to an app on your phone to where you can look at it. It does not have a video, although they do have videos that you can purchase with it as additional equipment. I do not have the video, but the monitor that I have, you'll hear him right here because he's in the pack and play. I'm filming a couple videos, and so he's just kind of hanging out right here. So this is about, I believe I paid about $300 for this. And you can do this in installments. So do not let the price of this keep you away from purchasing it, because it is one of the best things that I have gotten out of anything, like all 11 years. It is such a peace of mind to have this. I am guaranteeing you will sleep so much better knowing that this monitor is on there. So it wraps on the foot. And it goes all the way up. So they have 3 bands that come in it. And like I said, I'll link it so that you can go on the website and see. It'd be a lot better than what I could show you. Hey, I'm almost done. I'm almost done. But this is just amazing that you can have this, and just like I said, the peace of mind. It goes all the way up to, I believe, 18 months, although my last child started wearing it, not my last child, my 2 childs ago, stopped wearing it. It was a while ago, because actually I had to get a replacement one because the charger got like ripped or damaged or something, so I had to order another one. And by that time I felt like she was old enough where she didn't necessarily need to have one, but it has 3 different sock sizes, and it goes all the way up to 18 months. Incredible investment. So like I said, do not let the price of that sway you from not getting it. That you can do installments. That's what I did both times when I had to reorder. I just did installments. And it's amazing. So you can hook it up to your phone, and then you also have the little base that will go off. And even if you're not, like, if I have someone else watching my kid and I hear it go off, I can hear it. I get the alert on my phone no matter where I am, and it'll tell you the reason too. So it'll say difficulty with sock placement. Well, that just means it's not on correctly, or oxygen level is below X amount. Especially when they were sick, like if I had a child that was sick with pneumonia or RSV or something like that, it was great to have that. So that is the absolute top of my list. Baby item must have. Sleep sacks. There are so many sleep sacks, but sleep sacks, if you do not have the footy pajamas and you keep your house chilly, or sleep sack, you would want that. And I like to keep it cool in my house, but not super cold. So mine will typically wear a short sleeve onesie and then a sleep sack on, and then like pants, and then a sleep sack on top of that. And obviously you don't want to put, a blanket in there till, I don't even know what the recommendation is, a year, I think. So a sleep sack just helps to kind of have a wearable blanket. I have multiple ones because they will either leak in their crib, or if they have an explosion or they spit up or whatever, I have multiple ones that I can use. So you can get all kinds. I typically will start off with the newborn one, better than kind of a swaddle and swaddling them. But sometimes the swaddle one, I've had a couple kids that do not like being like this, and all crunched with their arms like that. And so they had to have their arms out. And so I started with the ones with their arms out because they did not like it being that like closed in. So sleep sacks, absolute must, multiples of them. The rock and play. So this is something, it's Fisher-Price makes it. I don't even know, they make different kinds now. When my second child was born, that is when we first got it. And it has been recalled since then. However, I believe it's all from how you use it. For example, there is a strap that you would strap once your child starts moving around, or if you want to strap them in from day one, that's totally fine too. And the babies would turn and then could obviously suffocate. And so it's all about following the directions pretty much and making sure that you're using it the way you're supposed to be using it and taking those precautions, such as the strap. It also used to have a hard backing in the back. So what it is, it's just like a little rocker. You have to rock it yourself. It doesn't rock on its own, but it is at a slight incline. And so that, not a huge incline, but a slight incline. And so that is what helped. I put all my kids in there when they get home from the hospital, until I've had some that go a couple months, and then some that go like 5 months. When they start turning over, then I put them in the crib or the pack and play to sleep. So it kind of depends, but from day one, when we come home from the hospital, that is what they go in and they sleep in. So I feel like, if you are using it correctly, they're not going to turn over because they're strapped in. So, I have used that, and it has worked wonders for babies that do not like to lay flat from day one. Obviously, they will get used to that, to laying flat in that position, but at an incline, it's a great thing to have, and I just stick it right by our bed. Cloth diapers is what we use we call them dites. They're like little blankets, and I'll show you actually. So since my youngest is right here in the pack and play, I have one. Cloth diapers. So I don't really use this for diapers, obviously. I do not use cloth diapers for diapers. It's just like a blanket. So they just have, they just put it here, so they have their pacifier and their diety, and it's just like a little blanket, kind of just for them to hold on to, and to kind of even keep their passy in. So I use that quite a bit, and I get a pretty big pack of those because I use those for spit up, anything. Bibs I can use them for, just kind of putting it up here when they drink their bottle. Nose Frida. I did not get that until probably baby number 4, maybe. I don't even know when that came out. A lot of the stuff I didn't even know existed until like child 4 or 5. It's gross, and my husband does it. Okay. I do not do this. Literally, you have the little suction, and it has a stopper, so you do not suck up the snot. But this helped so well when they were stuffy or had a cold or had whatever. It literally, you put it up to the nose and you suck it up. It barely goes in the nose, in the nostril, and you'll see the snot come up the little thing, the little tube. But it has a stopper, so you're not going to get it in your mouth. But it grosses me out. So my husband typically does that. Nose Frida. Great investment also, even though it's not expensive at all, but just remember that. Breathable bumpers for cribs. So obviously you're not supposed to have the, thick bumpers because you can run the risk of suffocation. I like the breathable bumpers. So the breathable bumpers have little holes all in them, itty bitty holes. It goes all the way around the crib. As they get older and their passies fall out in the middle of the night, these help keep them in the crib. So that is like a double plus for me, because then I don't have to worry. I don't have to go in there every 5 minutes when they're dropping a passy out the crib slats. So breathable bumpers. I've never had an actual bumper, but breathable bumpers have been great for us. A swing. I always have a swing. Not all my kids have needed a swing or have liked the swing, but my first child, that is the only thing that he would sleep in. And that was crazy because that was my milk allergy child and screamed for 6 weeks of his life. And I said I would never have another child again and yada, yada, yada. But God made me forget about that. So The swing, always have a swing, because whether or not you have a little bitty one that you can put, kind of carry around the house, or a larger one, it just is another thing for them to be in. It's fun. I can imagine being a baby and laying in the same place all the time would get somewhat boring. So give them different things, different areas to put them in, a swing, a rocker, anything like that. The pack and play with a little mobile on it. Things that, help to keep them engaged and not bored. Because I feel like when my kid is in there too long, like he's starting to get a little bit fussy. He just, you can tell. And so they get bored and then they get fussy, and then, maybe they wanted a different environment, something different to look at. So swing. Overnight diapers. So for my 1-year-old, I use overnight diapers all day. They last longer because they hold more stuff. So overnight diapers help with leaks quite a bit. And I'm not talking about expensive diapers. I will do a video on overrated baby products also, because I have quite a few things to put on that list. But overnight diapers I use all the time. Not necessarily when they're newborn, because they don't need it at that time, but probably around, my youngest is 4 months and he's kind of getting to that point. So I would say about maybe 5 or 6 months, I start using the overnight diapers all the time. Multiple pacifiers. So my kids, when my babies come home, I get them on a pacifier pretty much immediately. And I know that's not always, a lot of doctors don't recommend that. But I start from day one. It helps the transition. I have never had a baby that has had nipple confusion. So I've always been able to use a bottle. I nurse for just a little bit of time. I nurse for probably at the most 6 weeks. And I supplement from day one at the hospital. And that is just from jaundice issues and keeping them full and not enough supply and that kind of thing. You'll hear my kiddo. But I've never had one with nipple confusion, although I know it is a thing. So if that's a thing with your baby, then that's not probably ideal to start a pacifier. But I have noticed the second I give that child a pacifier, it calms them down. So it definitely helps, and it alleviates your stress, because when you are up at 3 o'clock in the morning, if you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning with a baby, giving a pacifier just might be the trick. And I have found that with a number of my kids. So anyway, I could talk about babies, newborns, babies like all day long, because I feel like I have so much to say and I don't know like how to split everything up. But I wanted to start here with some baby must-haves. And I'm sure if I think of any more stuff, I might do a part 2 to this. This is probably specifically for, newborn to, I don't know, less than a year, obviously. But at least these kind of things are starters that I just feel like are necessities that I had to have. And it was something that, like, once I got it, I didn't even realize like how I went so long without these things. So hopefully some of these give you some ideas if you're about to have a kiddo, or I've always said, if you have any questions, let me know, or ask me if I've tried any particular product. I'm sure I have with one of my kids, and whether it works or not. If I think of a bunch more things, then I might do a part 2 to this, because there's just so many things that I think of and that I don't realize or find out until I have had many children. So like I said earlier, I'm going to be doing a video also on overrated baby products. There are quite a few things that I thought I needed, whether I registered for them with baby number 1 or number 2, and have found that it is not worth it for me. Again, all of these things take with a grain of salt, because you might have a child that hates pacifiers. You might have a child that hates sleep sacks. You might have a child that has nipple confusion. You might have a child that doesn't even want a pacifier, sucks his thumb. I mean, every child is different. Fingers crossed, I do not have any thumb suckers. I've never had any thumb suckers. They've all had passies, which is kind of a good thing and a bad thing rolled into one. But I will do a video on the overrated baby products and what I feel like are a waste of money in my eyes. But again, if it makes your life easier, then by all means, get it. But again, if I keep talking, I'm going to go straight into that. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.